Hello guys, my name is Daniel and today I'm going to show you how to do some very simple rotations. So first we're just going to rotate a single dot and then later on we will go ahead and try to rotate some shapes. Okay, but first let's start with the very easy ones. So we want to rotate this point P 80 degrees clockwise to find P1. So P1 will be our image. P, what we're starting with, is our object. And then after we find P1, we're gonna go ahead and try to find P2, our second image. So first guys, we're gonna need a protractor and a compass. So make sure you get both of those ready. And let's get started. One very important point that I want everyone to know is that when we do a rotation, we're not changing the size or shape of our object, right? We're just moving it around a center. So this one tells us that we're rotating about the origin. Okay, the origin is right here where X and Y meet, right in the center. So we are going to be rotating about that. Let's go ahead and let's draw a circle in here quick. Very quickly. So line up your compass here. Oops. Technical difficulties, guys. Don't worry. We will get there. Okay, perfect. That looks pretty good. Now let's go ahead and just make a circle all the way around. Okay, good. So there's our circle. And what we know now is that this is our center of rotation. This is some distance here, right? Our new image is going to be that same distance away. So that's why we know our new image has to be on this circle somewhere. Okay, so let's go ahead, let's try and find out where our very first image is. And this is 80 degrees clockwise rotation. Remember guys, clockwise goes this way, same direction as a clock. Counterclockwise is gonna go the other way, opposite of what a clock does. Okay, so let's go ahead. Very first step guys, take a ruler or you can take your protractor here and just draw a line from your center of rotation through a point. For this one, we only have one point, right? Okay, try to be as exact as you can. And very good. So from our center through our point. Next, we are going to line this up. So see how there's a little hole here in my protractor? Make sure that is right on your center of rotation. And then over here we see a 0. Make sure you line that 0 up with that line that you just drew. So make sure your center is here and your 0 lines up perfectly. Now we're doing an 80 degrees clockwise rotation. So if we start at 0 here and we go this way, we can see that's going to be counterclockwise. So we have to move it over here and we'll line it up again. That looks pretty good. And our 0 line is lining up. So there we go. And now we'll do an 80 degree turn. So starting from 0 guys, always make sure you start at 0 all the way to 80 degrees, which is right there. Let's go ahead, let's draw that in. Okay, and we can see guys right here where our 2 points cross, that is where our new image P1 will be. So we'll label that P1. And let's go ahead and let's count this. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5, but not quite. Let's just say 4.75. 4.75, and let's count our Y. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exactly 4 on that one. -4 that is, because it's 4 down, right? So 4.75 and -4 is where this is located. Let's go ahead and do our 120-degree counterclockwise turn now to find our P2. So we'll line this up just like last time. Make sure your center of rotation is always here in the middle of your protractor. And let's nudge that up just a little bit. And also, guys, make sure that your 0 is lining up out here. If that's not lined up, it's going to give you a wrong answer. So now we're going to be using the inside ticks here, because you can see it starts with 0, right? We don't want to start at 180. So using our inside ticks, 0 all the way to 120. There we go. And that also matches with our 60. So let's just put a tick up there. Okay, so that's our 120 mark. Same as last time, guys. Let's go ahead. From our center of rotation through our tick mark here, let's draw a line. Perfect. And we can see they intersect right here at this point, which is going to give us 2 nice whole numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -6, and 1, 2 for our y coordinate. And we'll call that P2. So there we go. We've done our 80-degree clockwise rotation. We get this one. And we've done our 120-degree counterclockwise to get P2. Let's go ahead. Let's try another one, guys. Over here, we're going to have a 60-degree clockwise rotation to get our S1. And a 220-degree counterclockwise rotation to get S2. First thing, guys, very important. Remember, we are rotating about the origin. So that's right here where the X and Y meet. Let's draw our line from our center of rotation through that point. Okay, looks pretty good. And next step, let's do our 60-degree clockwise rotation. So always remember, this center point, guys, goes on your center of rotation. Okay, and then make sure your 0 matches up with your line, just like mine does there. The center looks a little off. All right, perfect. Now we're gonna go 60 degrees, starting from 0. So 60-degree mark will be right there. We'll draw our line now from our center of rotation to that tick. Okay, good. And right there. Now let's go ahead and use our compass to find out where on that line our point should be, our new image. Okay, so that looks good. And that looks good. So we can see that's going to be about -0.5 for our x coordinate. And it's up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 3/4 it looks like. So that's 6.75 would be the coordinates of our new point, S1. S1, okay. Very good, and we'll put our dot there. Okay, let's go ahead and try our 220-degree counterclockwise. Now guys, for this one, it is a little tricky because it's 220 degrees. If you notice on your protractor, they're only 180 degrees. So basically what this means is, you can do this one of two ways, guys. You can line it up this way, go 180 degrees, put a little tick here, Then line up your protractor again and go your last 40 degrees to make it 220. Or we can say, because we know all the way around a circle is 360 degrees, right? If we go 220, we'll be over here somewhere. How many degrees left to get back to this point then? We just take total 360 degrees minus 220 would give us this part here, right? So 360 minus 220 means we could do 140 degree clockwise rotation. And that is what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna go for the 140 degrees clockwise. So, line up our points here. Remember, center of rotation always here. Make sure your 0 lines up. And start from 0, we'll go 140 degrees. Just right there. Next step, draw a line between your center of rotation and that point. And last step, let's use our compass here to draw our line. Okay, looks pretty good. Right there. So that is right about there. Which we're gonna say is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6x. And looks like it's right in the middle there. So 1.5 would be our y coordinate. And we'll just label that as S2. Very good. Those are our first two, guys. Let's go ahead and try our next problems. Now for these ones, you can see they are a little different. First off, it tells us a center of rotation. It's not the origin this time. So this one is going to be -2, 0, which is 1, 2. So our center of rotation is going to be right there, in that little point I just made. And also look, we have Q prime. So prime, that means that is our image. So this is our center of rotation now. This is our image, and we want to find the object. So some object goes 150 degrees counterclockwise to get to this point. If we want to get back to our original object, we just have to go 150 degrees clockwise, right? From this point. So let's go ahead, let's draw our line from our center of rotation through our image here. Okay, always draw a big line, guys, that way you can match up your 0. Okay, put the center of your protractor right there on your center of rotation. Match up your 0, that's good. And now we want to go 150 degrees clockwise. So 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 is going to be this one. Once again, very important, guys, make sure you start at 0 so we can see zeros on the outside, not our inside ticks here. The inside is 180, so we want to start here on the outside, 0, and go all the way to 150. Next step, let's go ahead and draw our line to our center of rotation. And finally, we will use our compass to measure the distance. So let's line that up. Perfect. Oops. Okay, looks pretty good. Can maybe drop it just a little bit. Too much. Okay, good. And we see it's gonna land right over there. So our new point will be right here. Looks right about the halfway mark between that and also the halfway mark here. So we're gonna say that's negative 0.5 for our x coordinate, and it's up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and a half. So comma, put that in, 8.5. So those would be the coordinates of our new point. And if this is Q prime, we'll call this one Q. All right, very good. One more to go for the dot style. So let's go ahead, guys. Once again, it tells us our center of rotation is 2, 3. So at that point, 2x, 1, 2, 3y. So this is our center of rotation. Let's go ahead and draw a line from our center of rotation through our image. Remember, we know it's an image because it's W prime. And now this one, guys, 180 degrees clockwise. So 180 degrees clockwise means we came from somewhere over here and went that way to end up at this point, right? If we want to go back, we just have to go 180 degrees anti-clockwise. And now because 180 degrees is half of 360, doesn't really matter. We could keep going 180 degrees clockwise and we'd be right back at the original place as well. So we can go counterclockwise or clockwise to find our answer. What I'm gonna do here is just draw a straight line through this. Because it's 180 degrees, we know 180 degrees, if we go clockwise, is gonna be somewhere over here. Counterclockwise will just be over here. We will use our compass again to measure that distance. Try to be as exact as possible. Almost there. Can taste victory, guys. Okay, perfect. And there we go. Awesome. So we can see it's actually going to end up right on this point over here. 1, 2, so that's -3 and 0y. So that would be our original W. And if you want to double check, guys, put your center of rotation here. Okay, right in the middle of our protractor. Starting from here, right? 180 degrees clockwise does get us right over here to our W prime. So 180 degrees counterclockwise brings us right back to the original shape. So that is it for our dots, guys. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna try to rotate a whole shape. Now rotating a shape is very simple, guys. It's exactly like rotating a single point, but this time in our triangle example, we have 1, 2, 3 points instead, A, B, and C. And this problem tells us to rotate triangle ABC counterclockwise. Remember, guys, that's this way, 80 degrees about X. So X is our center of rotation, and we know we're rotating over here somewhere. So let's go ahead, same exact steps as before, guys. Just go one point at a time. So first we'll draw a line from our center of rotation through point A. We'll line up our protractor here. Make sure your zero is good. Make sure your center of rotation is right in the center. And start from 0. So go here up to 80 degrees. And let's go ahead, draw our line. Okay. Now we know the distance from our center of rotation to point A. Whoa. So from our center of rotation to point A is the same as our center of rotation to point A prime. So A prime is going to land right there. Let's go ahead. Same thing for B, guys. Step 1, draw a line from your center of rotation through B. Step 2, line your protractor up. Make sure your center of rotation is here. Make sure your 0 line looks just like that. And now we will go 80 degrees again from here. So 80 degrees is going to be right there. If we go on the further side, be right about there. Let's draw our line from the center of rotation. A little bit better. Let's try that again. Okay, good. So we know our B is going to be somewhere on this line. Once again, let's use our compass to find that distance. So, let's line this up. A little bit too far. Okay, perfect. And let's draw that. Okay, so our B prime is going to be right there, guys. B prime. And last one. All we have to do is our C prime now. So same thing. From our center of rotation, we will draw a line out to that point. Okay, next step, let's line up our protractor here. Make sure center of rotation is centered. You start at 0. Make sure that line is good. Now we will go 80 degrees. So we're going to use the inside lines again here. And that's 80 degrees. Let's draw our line from from our center of rotation out past that. Okay. Good. And now we know our C prime is going to be somewhere on this line. The question is where? So use our compass again. Find the distance to C. Looks perfect. And right there, where those two lines intersect, we have our C prime. Last step, guys, connect all your points together. So B prime connected to C prime. C prime connects to A prime. And A prime connects to B prime. And there you go, you can see our new rotated triangle there. And notice, guys, this shape looks exactly the same size and everything else is that. It's just been rotated, right? Which is perfect because this is an isometry. We're not changing the size, just rotating and moving it around. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll leave the last problems there for you to try by yourself. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and if you want to see more videos, comment down below which video you'd like to see. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.